Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, just a few gentle reminders. Kindly ensure that your mobile phones are switched to silent mode throughout the sessions. Please stay with us until the end of the event as we have prepared goodie bags for all participants, and we will also have lucky draws with exciting prizes later in the program. Please also be reminded to use the ticket provided upon registration to redeem your food at the allocated times and your goodie bag at the end of the program. Thank you. We will begin shortly. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and a very good morning, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the National Institutes of Health, NIH, it is our great honor to warmly welcome all of you to NIH AI Day 2025. I'm Munira.
And I'm Dinya.
And together, we are excited and honored to be your MCs for today's event. We are truly delighted to see such a diverse gathering this morning, esteemed colleagues from the Ministry of Health, healthcare professionals, researchers, innovators, industry leaders and collaborators, all brought together by a shared vision of advancing healthcare through the power of artificial intelligence AI. This year marks the third edition of NIH AI Day, and it is extra special because today we are also witnessing the launch of the AI Community Center, AICC, a significant milestone that represents our collective commitment to building a thriving ecosystem at the intersections of AI and health. It is also our great privilege that the launch of today's ceremony and AICC will later be officiated by Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health Malaysia, and Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Nur Fariza binti Ngah, Deputy Director General of Health Research and Technical Support.
Ladies and gentlemen, AI is reshaping nearly every domain we know, and in healthcare, its potential is boundless. From driving smarter decisions to improving patient outcomes and reimagining the future of care. Today's program has been carefully curated to spark dialogue, inspire ideas, and encourage collaboration across disciplines. With an exciting lineup of sessions, dialogues, and opportunities to network, we truly hope that you will find today both enriching and inspiring. Without further ado, it is our pleasure to now invite our first keynote speaker from Ranti to deliver the address titled From Promise to Practice, Igniting Malaysia's Healthcare Future with Generative AI. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Hazwan Daud, who currently leads Life Sciences at Meranti's Ecosystem Division. Dr. Hazwan. Dr. Hazwan leads Malaysia's national efforts to commercialize innovations in health technology, biotechnology, and agricultural technology under the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation. He previously directed the Collaborative Research in Engineering, Science and Technology Digital Healthcare Cluster and holds a Doctor of Philosophy in Engineering from the University of Cambridge. Over to you, Dr. Hazwan.
Thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, selamat pagi. First of all, of course, I would like to thank the organizer, NIH, DHRI, and also, I believe, Sector Technology Maklumat for organizing this event today and for inviting me to deliver the keynote speech. Of course, I'm very honored to deliver this basically keynote. The title is From Promise to Practice, Igniting Malaysia's Healthcare Future with Generative AI. So basically, my name is Hazwan. I'm, as mentioned by the MC, I'm currently heading the Life Sciences Department in Meranti, where we sort of overseeing initiative to facilitate innovation and commercialization of local innovation, particularly in various sectors such as healthcare, biotechnology, and agriculture. So of course, healthcare has been one of our core focus areas because we always align our key priorities or our focus area with the national key priorities, and healthcare is one of the sort of our national key priorities at the moment. So before I deep dive into my slide, there are a few things that I would like to share with you. Of course, everyone is well aware of the fact that we are significantly underfunded in terms of healthcare expenditure, 4.6% out of GDP, compared to the WHO recommended amount of 6%. That's number one. And because of that, the need for transformation is no longer, basically, it's about survivability. It's to ensure that our healthcare system can be sustainable for a long run. So we are in a dire need of transformation. So that's our local situation. Now let's look at the global landscape. If we look at the global landscape, take for example the OECD countries. Of course, Malaysia is not part of OECD, but it's good to refer to this group of countries. When we look at OECD countries, healthcare is the only sector that's sort of outliers. Why? Because healthcare is the only sector where, for the past 30 or 40 years, the labor input has been consistently increasing. However, the productivity or the output has been sort of stagnant for the past 30, 40 years. That means the efficiency has been decreasing. If we look at other sectors, education, construction, for example, the labor input has been decreasing and the and the output has been increasing because of the technology transformation and all that. And why is this happening in the healthcare sector? Well, there's a lot of reasons. Maybe disease burden has been increasing, number one. Maybe now clinician doctors are forced to do more works compared to the previous 20, 30 years. But there's a lot of argument. So basically, because of this, there's a huge need for us to transform the health system, not just in Malaysia, but globally. And AI, well, everyone has been saying about AI. AI is the new, basically, frontier. AI is the new thing that could transform the world. Is it true? So it's something that basically in this talk we would like to explore that. So I always, this is my style, I always start my talk normally with a story. So when we talk about AI, this is Garry Kasparov. So any one of you who are familiar with sort of chess, Garry Kasparov was the previous chess champion. World chess champion. In 1997, however, he was defeated by an AI called Deep Blue. Now, why is this interesting? Number one, now, basically we know that AI, at that time, had the potential to outthink humans in solving complex tasks, like, for example, playing chess. So basically, that's sort of a turning point of AI, where we now are able to see that AI has the ability to exceed humans' sort of capacity. So when we talk about AI, people has been, oh, AI is so good, AI bagus, AI boleh buat ni, AI boleh buat tu. But we need to be aware that there are two sides of the coins. Of course, there are the positive sides, and the other side is the negative side. So for example, in medical, let's take for example the IBM Watson for oncology. I think it has been deployed last 10 years. 10 years ago, basically functioned to provide advisory in terms of, or basically support in terms of providing recommendation for treatment for cancers. But it failed tremendously. Why? Number one, because it learned from a data set that are not necessarily correct. It either give recommendation that was so obvious or basically was so wrong. And we know that basically because of this, we need to be sort of careful with AI. Of course, there are a lot of positive things that we can achieve with AI. At the same time, we need to be aware that AI also has its negative side as well. Okay, this is very colorful slide. So, yeah, for the past 100 years, we have experienced tremendous transformation in healthcare. Basically, our health system. Take for example, in 1900, 25 years ago, the average global lifespan at that time was around 31 years old. So if I were to live in that era, I should have already been dead by now. And I think maybe around 70% of the person in this hall should already have been dead by now. But fast forward 125 years later, right now, I think the global life expectancy that we have right now globally is around 73 years. So we have basically transformed our health system a lot. We have managed to increase the lifespan. And if we look at the upcoming trends in healthcare, so yang dekat bawah tu, we have 4 current exciting frontiers in medical innovation: AI and machine learning, advanced robotic and minimalist invasive intervention, precision medicine and gene therapy, and regenerative medicine. And amongst these, AI has been quoted as one of the sort of the most exciting frontiers. Because for the past 125 years, we have managed to increase the lifespan of people, but AI has been quoted to be able to increase the health span. So what's the difference between lifespan and health span? Lifespan is when I live longer, but the additional years gained does not necessarily equate to healthy life, better quality of life. So saya hidup lebih lama, but with AI now, we can basically sort of transform the additional years into a sort of better quality of life. And that's the potential that AI has promised to us. So, of course, if you look at the trend in technology, in half years, they will basically be a significant or the technology that will transform the healthcare. For example, if you look at the 80s, it was imaging, MRI, and all those things. If you look at 2000, it was genome, gene editing, gene sequencing, and all that. And now, basically, what people has been saying is the upcoming frontiers that we are living in this. So this is the quote that basically Jensen Huang mentioned in London Tech Week last June. So I was there. He was asked to make a prediction. Basically, what would be the AI be in the future? So he said this: I predict in not too distant future, perhaps in less than 20 years, AI will not be just a tool, but it will become a critical infrastructure, much like electricity did when it became widely adopted more than 100 years ago. So for a key opinion leaders like him to mention that AI is going to transform the world like electricity did, so we know that electricity was a very big thing. It managed to transform and revolutionize the industry as we see now. So basically, we know that AI has that huge potential, but it's important for us to basically approach this technology in cautious because, as I mentioned before, there's a good side and there's a bad side of it. And when we talk about electricity didn't wait for the standards, for any standards, before it transformed the entire industry. So should we wait for standard for AI? So that remains a question. So some of the impact of AI in healthcare, when we talk about the overall impact, so these are some of the data obtained by a study by Accenture. When we talk about AI, of course, I'm not going to read line by line. So for example, let's talk about waiting time, patient waiting time. So average waiting time now in Malaysia for outpatient in public health clinics is more than 3 hours in average. So imagine with AI, if we have a triage system, for example, maybe perhaps we can we have a potential to reduce that by maybe for 1.5 hours save per citizen. So imagine basically the productivity gain out of that save time. So this is basically some of the potential of AI. That's about waiting time. Now let's talk about misdiagnosis. According to WHO 2022 data, 1 out of 10 misdiagnosis harm a patient. So basically 1 dalam 10 misdiagnosis ni akan menyebabkan patient worsen the outcomes of the patient. And imagine if we have AI that can improve diagnostic. So that would by 50% at least, that would basically, instead of 1 out of 10, now we have 1 out of 20. That's better. And we will be able to save life, be able to save costs, we'll be able to save times. One of the things that I would like to share is basically a study by McKinsey. So they basically conducted a study and they have identified that AI has a potential to disrupt or to automate at least 50% of tasks by a clinician. And according to NHS UK, when they did a pilot to basically study the impact of AI in clinician sort of day-to-day basis in terms of automation, they found out that actually by using AI to automate certain tasks, you can actually save 2 hours per day for a clinician. Now imagine like right now you come to the hospital at 8, you leave at 5. Imagine now you come to the hospital at 8, you leave at 3. Of course, that's not ideal, of course, because that 2 hours basically save does not necessarily equate to you can leave early. Of course, that additional 2 hours gain can be translated to better attention in terms of providing care to the patients. So basically now we can improve the quality of care that we deliver to the patient. So that's the impact that AI can do. And in terms of the last point, ROI. So when we talk about ROI, especially if we live in private sector, when they want to adopt any technology, of course they are looking at ROI. But for us as a government, it's important to not just look at ROI. There's other parameters as well, because by adopting technologies, there are indirect benefits that we can. Maybe we can improve treatment outcomes, maybe we can improve productivity, maybe we can improve other things as well, like patient experience. So those are not necessarily translated to direct sort of dollar and cents in terms of profit and benefits, but those are values that we introduce to the health system. And I think when we look at the entire adoption or entire spectrum of technology adoption, we should look at the return of value. I mean, like what's the value gain from adopting technologies in the health system. So that should be our mindset in terms of adopting technologies. Now, these are basically just a theory. I'm not going to go into the details. There are many types of AI, and there are many people basically doing different sort of framework to differentiate what are the AI, what are the difference between this AI and that AI. So when we look at the capability, so this is the generally accepted sort of framework for when we want to separate AI into different capability. We have of course, we have the narrow or traditional AI. Most of the AI that we have now is actually a narrow AI. And then we have general AI, basically able to take knowledge from one domain and transfer to another. And number 3 is super intelligent AI. So AI that's more intelligent than human. General AI is not yet realized, and of course super intelligent AI has not been realized as well. And basically that's by capability. If you look by functionality, so that's basically the type of AI or the framework that's basically sort of produced by IBM. There are different 4 capabilities. So the lowest one is reactive machine, AI that responds to input without memory. So basically it's just a sort of binary kind of thing, 1010, yes, true, or something like that. And then we have AI that has a limited memory, basically that has some sort of memory, and it learns from a continuous use. So most of AI that we have now is limited memory AI. Theory of mind is AI that is basically has sort of understand emotions. And of course this is like a sci-fi kind of thing. It's not yet realized. And finally we have self-aware AI. So self-aware AI is basically like human itself. It's a AI that has consciousness. So this is basically the framework that IBM has came out. The right hand side one is basically the normal. Basically, if you've been to any AI lectures from academics, so they will use that one. So by hierarchy, artificial intelligence is basically the whole chunk of thing. Machine learning is a subset of AI. Deep learning is a subset of machine learning, and generative AI, something that basically the focus of today, generative AI, is a subset of deep learning. So what is generative AI? Generative AI is a branch of AI that creates new content. It can be text, it can be images, it can be data based on what it has learned. So ChatGPT, for example, is an example of generative AI based on large language model. Gemini. And now basically people are using AI to create data to train AI. So they call it synthetic data. AI create data, and then that data is used to train that AI. So it's like a loop. I've just came back from Australia, basically. So Australia right now, they are in the process of establishing a national synthetic data warehouse to train AI. So it's a national consolidated sort of effort to create a synthetic database for various medical images and medical data to train AI. So perhaps that's something that we should explore in Malaysia as well, to create a synthetic database that's of course validated to train our local AI as well. And I'm pretty sure that all of you are aware that basically MOSTI and MOH, we are looking at basically providing grants to the development of first LLM model in Malaysia. So that's the idea. By having the LLM model for our own language in Malaysia, that will be able to nurture more and more innovation related to AI to be born out of our country. So when we talk about generative AI, these are some of the examples of generative AI in healthcare. AI helps ALS patient to speak again. So if you are familiar with Stephen Hawking, of course Stephen Hawking, the late Stephen Hawking, he had this kind of robotic voice extracted from his, I think, a movement of his throat. However, that was not his real voice, so it's a robotic voice. Imagine if we can have AI that basically able to generate your own voice similar to your original voice. So when your voice has been deteriorated because of the ALS and all, and you're losing your voice, now this AI would be able to help you to speak using your own voice to other people again. So this was developed by Acapella Group. And then we look at, so this is the trend. People have been saying AI can accelerate drug discovery and all those things. So we look at this one, a case study by In Silico Medicine. Basically, they are using AI to discover new drugs structure. And they managed to reach clinical trial in just 18 months instead of 5 to 6 years. You know, if you're familiar with pharmaceutical industry, I think it's the industry with the highest entry barrier, meaning that you need to have a lot of capital to bring just one product to market. In average, I think to bring one drug to the market is around 5 to 15 billion. So that's the magnitude of saving. Imagine now with 6 to 15 years to bring a drug to the market. Now you can save that the first phase of discovery just by months. That will save a lot of time, a lot of money as well. And by bringing a drug basically faster to the market, it has the potential to improve outcomes, treatment outcomes as well. So if you look at AI discovered by drug, currently I'm not sure whether they are already approved by FDA, AI discovered drug, but I know that there are a few candidates that are currently undergoing phase 2 trials in the States. So let's see whether we have the first AI that will enter the market purely based on AI drug discovered. And the third one is AI generates personalized patient education technology in Mayo Clinic. So in Mayo Clinic, basically, and I think it's not just in Mayo Clinic, globally, sometimes doctors, they use jargon when they communicate to patient. So for example, when I meet a doctor and doctor said, oh, you have hyperlipidemia and something like that. So I was like, what's that? So when I Google, it's just a high cholesterol. Not that I undermine the high cholesterol sort of effect, but why can that doctor just told me that I have high cholesterol instead of saying that I have hyperlipidemia? So sometimes doctors basically use jargons because they have been educated in that space, and sometimes they think that all the public will know that terms as well. So in Mayo Clinic, they have this good technology where basically it translate complex medical information, jargon used by the doctor, and from the reports into a plain, patient-friendly language, so that people can better understand and better appreciate the report that they receive from the doctors. So these are some of the generative AI that we have today. As I mentioned, ChatGPT is also generative AI. Interestingly, in the US, they use the latest version of ChatGPT to basically sit in a medical exam. So it was the US medical licensing examination. So in US, if you want to have your practice certificate, you need to undergo this exam. And they made ChatGPT to sit in that exam. And you know what? Basically, ChatGPT managed to score 60 out of 100 in that exam. It's actually passing the minimum requirement. So now we know that actually even ChatGPT perhaps has a knowledge like a houseman already. So that's something that basically, and and it's going to improve over time. So as of now, we know that ChatGPT may be a 60 out of 100. Maybe in the future it's going to be better and better, and at one point it will be better than human. So when we talk about AI, what are the challenges in adopting AI? So we have technology and infrastructure, of course, AI performance and algorithm bias. So this is quite common. In Menanti, we have been working with a lot of companies, foreign companies as well, that would like to bring their technologies to Malaysia. So there was this one company who basically brought AI technology for diagnostic. I'm not going to mention what kind of diagnostic it does. Basically, they claim that in Europe, the accuracy was around 98%. So we did the test here in Malaysia. Basically it was super bad, that I think the accuracy just around 50 or 40% only on our population. So that's what we call algorithm bias. Basically, because the original AI was developed from dataset that are foreign, that are not localized in Malaysia. Hence, we have to develop our own capacity as well. We don't need to necessarily adopt AI from other countries, because we know that sometimes there will be a bias as well. Data security, privacy, and interoperability. So I think in order for you to leverage data for your AI, of course it has to be a structured data. And I think 20% or 30% only data that we have in terms of medical are structured. Okay. So it remains a challenge for us. Yeah. And the next one is cost and ethical dilemmas. So basically, in order for us to adopt AI, of course, there's a cost. But as I mentioned previously, if you are looking at specific ROI, it has been consistently demonstrated that ROI from AI adoption basically you will reach that. Basically, you will break even after 24 to 36 months. Workflow integration is something. So by adopting AI, we should basically ease our job instead of basically put additional layers into our current workflow. Change the roles and responsibilities, and then people, lack of AI knowledge and skill, job displacement fears. So it's important for clinicians to be educated as well. Right now, in other countries, there's a structured course program basically to improve the awareness of AI among clinicians, and I think it's something that perhaps we need to explore here in Malaysia as well. It's not the skill to develop AI, but the skill to be aware of how AI works, instead of basically looking at AI just as a black box. So key consideration in adopting AI, as I mentioned previously, performance on local demographics, transparency, explainability, and accountability. So previously, a question was thrown to me. If you were a doctor and you were given an AI technology, two AI technology, one is a black box but with a performance of 99%, another is a transparent box with a performance of 90%. Which one will you choose? So, and basically that person told me the one that I should choose is the one that's transparent with 90%. Because it's important for you to be able to explain how that AI works. The explainability aspect of AI is basically highlighted in a lot of guidelines, and it's important for, as a clinician, when you want to adopt AI, you are able to explain how that AI comes to its recommendation. Workflow integration, training, adoption, and trust, and finally justifiable values and return on investment. So I'm going to skip this. Okay, finally, before I end, I would like to end with this quote. Successful deployment of AI in healthcare organization must balance the art of the possible with the art of the practical. We need AI that works in Tapa. We need AI that works in Batu Pahat. We need AI that works in Borough, for example. We don't need AI that works in Boston. We don't need AI that works in New York. So we need to have our local AI. Hence, we need to develop our own capacity in this area. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Hazwan, for that enlightening keynote address. Please remain on stage as we now invite Mr. Zulkarnain binti Baharau, Head of Technical and Operation Unit Information Technology Sector, National Institute of Health, NIH, to come forward to present a token of appreciation to Dr. Hazwan. Thank you, Dr. Hazwan, and thank you, Mr. Zulkarnain. Ladies and gentlemen, please give them a warm round of applause. And now we move on to over to the speakers.
Testing. Very good morning to the distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Siu Ting. I'm from Roche Informatics as delivery manager. So I always have a passion in healthcare that how can we transform the impossible possible using our projects. So with me, I have Nigel Ho that's going to also speak about prompt engineering.
All right, thank you, Siu Ting. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nigel. You guys can call me Kakit. So together with me, I'm Siu Ting. We will be presenting about the fundamentals of prompt engineering. I am a background of a DevOps engineer, a AI graduate, and AI has not been something new to me. So hopefully, by the end of my session, by the end of this 30 minutes, everyone would have more understanding on how to give better prompts. All right, back to Siu Ting.
All right, thank you so much, Nigel. So let us look at some of our background, shall we? So I feel pain of the patient disease, and there is no enough data to actually support. How can we improve the life of the patient? How can we relieve them from their pain? It's actually pretty a nice place to stay. But I want to build a figure that actually can help Ultraman has did to save the world. Now for me, my vision is to save the patients. Now looking at the bigger picture now, as I grew older and older, I believe,
Imagine a world where
sorry. Okay, I'm so sorry. I need to learn how to use this. Can we go? Exactly is prompt engineering. So let's look at this video.
Imagine a world where AI anticipates your needs before you even express them. This isn't science fiction, it's the promise of prompt engineering. By crafting precise prompts, we bridge the gap between human intent and AI response. Prompt engineering is revolutionizing industries, especially healthcare. It allows AI to understand complex medical queries, offering solutions that were once unimaginable. This innovative approach is reshaping how we interact with technology, making it more intuitive and effective. AI is already making waves in healthcare, from diagnostics to patient care. However, without prompt engineering, communication with AI can be challenging. Misunderstandings can lead to errors, highlighting the need for precise prompts. Consider real-world examples, AI systems that accurately diagnose diseases or predict patient outcomes. These successes are often due to effective prompt engineering, ensuring AI understands and processes medical data accurately. Prompt engineering enhances AI's accuracy and efficiency, leading to improved patient outcomes. By crafting precise interactions, healthcare providers can rely on AI for accurate diagnostics and treatment plans, ultimately benefiting patients. Operational benefits are significant too. With prompt engineering, healthcare systems become more streamlined, reducing errors and saving time. This efficiency translates to better resource management and improved patient care. By embracing prompt engineering, you can drive innovation in healthcare. Implement these strategies in your organization to enhance AI interactions and improve patient care. Together, we can shape a smarter, more efficient healthcare future. Join the movement towards smarter healthcare solutions. Start by exploring prompt engineering techniques and integrating them into your practice. Let's revolutionize healthcare one prompt at a time.
All right, thank you so much. So prompt engineering. So you have really look at it. It's not like your Google search where you just put in simple sentences into your small browser and you start to ask for questions or the solution that you are looking for. Prompt engineering is more than that because you have to make use of the AI model as your companion. Many people were saying AI is very good at lying because if you do not give the right instructions to the AI on what you actually need, AI will try to please you. So that is why it is important for you to speak to AI properly, especially when we are dealing with the medical or in the healthcare industry, because we will work with a more advanced AI model. So this is about how can we communicate with the AI to drive innovations in our solutions. So there is a couple of ways for us to prompt. So prompting may sound simple because you are just working with, like if in ChatGPT or you using Gemini as the AI tool, you are just working with a white window, a small white window or black window, and you put in your, or in any language that you want, that what you actually need, the solution that actually need from it. But there are ways, there are methods or that you can actually use. So I'm actually sharing these 3 methods. So the first one is first principles thinking. So these principles often been used by Elon Musk or Aristotle to actually think like how can we conquer the world? In our case, what do the patient needs next? So you should have the solution in your mind, a very high level one, do not need to be in very detail, and then you start with your solution and your problem statement. So you make use of the AI to keep asking the AI, why is this solution? Why do we have these scenarios and things like that? So this is what we call first principles thinking of prompting. Yes, just a small window and you keep asking in the window the whys. Now, the second one is we call chain prompting. So for example, if you need to design a diabetic plan for your patient, first, probably you start with patients that have high glucose level or maybe patients that have low glucose level and some. So with this, probably you start with your prompt is, with the plan that I'm going to create for my diagnosis patient, what can I do for low glucose patient and also high glucose patient and with patient with kidney complications. So with the response from the prompt, then you prompt further, like what will be the action plan for these patients. So this is what we call like a technique called prompt chaining or chain of thought. And lastly, this is very powerful. I'm not asking like we should drop all the prompting method that we currently have now, but we will make use the AI as your companion, as your thinking partner. So it is like you make use of the AI to create your prompts, make use of the AI to analyze the data, and even ask the AI to deepfake some of the patient data. Because with that, then only you can have a more accurate diagnosis outcome. Because if a diagnosis that been wrongly diagnosed, this may cause patient life, and also this may cause pain to the patient. So it is very important, like, yes, in this era, we make use of AI to achieve what we need, but we need to learn how to use it properly. So, and also ask the AI properly, because you need to scroll down or narrow down the scope of your ask so that the AI knows like, what exactly that you are looking for. So I am going to end here. I'm going to pass to Nigel to speak about more in depth on how can you prompt. So I'll just pass to Nigel then. Thank you so much.
All right, a round of applause for Siu Ting right here. All right, good morning everyone. My name is Kakit again. So right now, I'm going to start my presentation by this quote. Think about the last brilliant prompt you crafted. What happened to your prompt after the answer? Did it just disappear? So I have one question to the floor. So please raise up your hand if you have ever used any AI tools. ChatGPT, Gemini, anything. Raise up your hand, I want to see. Right, we have majority of you guys have tested it out. So for my session, I'm going to teach you how to prompt in a very simple way. So if you have your mobile phones with you, if you want to test it out, ChatGPT, you can practice together when I teach you guys on this. So this is one of the most simple methods, the most simple techniques that was provided by Google. So you just need to remember these 4 letters, P, T, C, and F. All right, let's look at this. P, persona. So you can think of it as when you are doing an AI, what Xiuting mentioned just now, a lot of people are still doing it like you're prompting a Google search. Maybe put a little bit more effort into segmentating these prompt with this 4 PTCF. I'll provide examples in the following slides so you guys can practice together. So what is persona? First, you need to assign a role to the AI. For example, if I'm doing a summarization of a lot of data, for example, who would be the best role for this? A data analyst, some IT experts, and etc., etc. So the first thing, and for me personally, I think the most important thing is the persona. So at the start of your prompt, for example, if you're dealing something with data, just write, you are a data analyst. You are an IT professional. You are someone who is very professional in dealing with data. That's first. Task. What should the AI do? Okay, I'll break it down to a very simple thing. It's like basically you have a personal assistant and you want your personal assistant to write you an email. And how you do, you're going to be like, hey Sam, could you do me a favor and write me an email? Same for AI. So what should the AI do? So basically you prompt, you are a personal assistant, start with persona, and then with the task you said, could you write me an email to send to John, for example? All right, content. So if I say I'll write an email, for example, to Xiuting, there's no context. What email do you need? So the next part, C, content, is basically what do you need within the email. For example, I'm writing an email to Xiuting about this NIH AI Day. I need some information about the dates, the location, what kind of resources do we need, and etc. So content is the information. And last but not least, format. How should the output look like? So I think every one of you have tested out AI. You can not just do emails, you can basically write you point forms, help you summarize this. And for me, sometimes I even use it for translation or even generate image. Right now, there's a lot of multi-models. And for me, I deal a lot with like image generation, video generation. So basically, the video you saw just now where Xiuting presented was fully generated with AI. Even the avatar just now was an AI avatar. It's not a real person, it's a synthetic avatar. So basically, this is how you represent the format, how it's going to look like. So once again, PTCF, persona, task, content, and format. All right, so here is a very simple example. I think you guys can basically test around. You guys, if you have your mobile phone, you can directly go to Google, go to ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., and test it out. So basically, the goal is to draft a project proposal. So before AI, how we do it is basically we brainstorm with our past experience. We ask around on people, hey, have you done any project proposal? Do I get this information? But now with AI, with prompt engineering itself, I can show you this is a very good sample prompt. You are a clinical trial manager. So the first thing we have right here, it's the persona. So basically, you're telling him that you're a clinical trial manager. Next, the task. What do you want the clinical trial medical manager to do? Draft a project proposal for a new medical campaign called Q4 Sprint. Basically, this is just a name. You can name it whatever you want. You can do it on your mobile phone, maybe you can draft a campaign for your children's birthday party or like for a farewell for a colleague, something like that. Next would be the context. So you name the medical campaign called Q4 Sprint, but you didn't tell the AI what's the context. So I think this is the field, where a lot of people are missing out on. So basically when you are Googling, so you say, hey, how do I write a proper email? And then Google will come with you a lot of links and you click the first link, you look at it, okay, there is the format and I'll follow it. But with AI, if you provide AI with the proper context on what you need, it will basically generate out together with the context, with proper grammar, and etc., etc. So this is something that it's different from our existing Google search. So looking at this example right here, context, so right here, it's for Q4 Sprint. So if you just mention that, hey, it's just a medical campaign, usually people will just follow up with a question like, hey, what kind of medical campaign is this? What this is about? So that means if you provide more information into the prompt, it'll be better. Last but not least, format. You need to provide a proper format on how it's going to come out. So right here, it's professional tone with sections for objectives, deliverables, and timeline. So if you do not provide the format, what would the AI generate? Basically, it will generate just a long paragraph where you need to use some time to go through the paragraph itself, and also like, okay, I think this is corresponding to objectives, so I do my own copy-pasting. This corresponds to deliverables, and I see like, hey, there is no timeline, and I need to redo the prompting itself. So with this PTCF being practiced, everything will generate out in a more detailed format, and hopefully this will help you in your next prompting. All right, I have one more example. All right, so this one, it's basically, I think everyone who is working right now goes through email, and I think a lot of people wouldn't want to go through a very, very lengthy email. So hence, I think this prompt is basically for summarizing meeting notes and also for a follow-up email. So looking at this prompt, let me read it out. Summarize the key findings from at. So basically, this is a document name. So you basically with, for example, from Gemini, you can access your Google Drive and access any documents that are related. But here, basically, if you're using any open source, like, for example, GPT, an example, you can attach your file to it. So summarize the key findings from these specific documents and draft a follow-up email to the research team. In the email itself, list the primary and secondary endpoints as numbered lists, noting whether each was met. So basically, a very simple thing, a breakdown. So using persona, task, context, and format. Basically, first and foremost, the most important one I mentioned, if you have very minimal time and you don't want to, you kind of forget about the PTCF, just most importantly, remember about persona, right? So here is the lead researcher or clinical trial coordinator, and then together with that, the task, which is to summarize the document itself. Context, basically, you're directing it to look at this specific document. And last but not least, the format, which is an email with the numbered lists and also the clinical trial endpoints with their outcomes. So these are the two examples that I provide you. So basically, a lot of you guys might think, okay, you guys are taking photos. I see a lot of you guys are taking photos. But this is such a short presentation. How do I really get to know more about this, practice more about this? So hence, what's next? So after developing with all these prompts, so usually for me, when I started prompting, I crafted a very, very good prompt. And then what's next? Basically, that's it. I just left it in my browser, and then next time when I need to do the same thing, I will redo the prompt again. So what's next? After you've created an amazing prompt, basically, just save it. So the most simple thing, you can save it. Basically, you have Microsoft Words, Google Doc. For me, I personally save it in my notepad. But if you have the chance to basically test it out on Google Gems, or anything that relates to agents, agentic, which is available in GPT and Gemini and other tools, basically you can save the prompt that you have crafted within your IDE. So basically looking at here, this is one of a very good prompt. This is basically my agent that I use to generate good prompts. So for me personally, I might have practiced the PTCF, but if I want something even faster and ready-made, basically I created my own AI agent where it generates the prompt for me. And this specific prompt follows the PTCF format where basically I just save it inside. But if you don't want to have this such of a problematic approach, the most simple way, basically just save it in any document. And your presentation is just 30 minutes, can't learn so much. So here's the answer to it. Here's a cheat sheet. So you can scan this QR, boleh scan QR ni. So if you scan this QR, you'll be directed to a link where basically everything is saved within. You can go through it. It's a cheat sheet. There's a lot of saved prompts, basically just copy and paste. I personally use it. Do I still practice PTCF? Yes, but with the prompts inside. All right. So hopefully everyone has scanned it. All right. So I would like to end my presentation today with this quote. Having a good prompt doesn't mean you will remember it. So please save it somewhere. All right, once again, my name is Kakit. Together with me in Silting, I really appreciate the opportunity to present here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ho. And Ms. Wong, kindly remain on stage as we now call upon Mr. Zulkarnain once again to present the tokens of appreciation. Thank you, Ms. Wong, Mr. Ho, and thank you, Mr. Zulkarnain. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly be seated as we are now waiting the arrival of our distinguished guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we seek your kind cooperation to remain seated as we will begin in less than 5 minutes from now.
Ladies and gentlemen, announcing the arrival of Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health Malaysia, and Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Nur Fariza binti Ngah, Deputy Director General of Health Research and Technical Support. Please rise. National Anthem Negaraku. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, you may now be seated.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, we gather today an emblem, a sign where progress and purpose gracefully align. With AI as partner, in health we engage, charting a future that ushers a new age. Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health Malaysia, Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Nur Fariza binti Ngah, Deputy Director General of Health, Research and Technical Support, Yang Berusaha Dr. Murizal bin Zainul, Manager of the National Institutes of Health NIH, esteemed directors, heads of departments, together with the distinguished guests, researchers, innovators, industry leaders and collaborators, and all the participants from across the Ministry of Health Malaysia. We are deeply honored by your presence. Thank you for being part of this historic occasion. For your information, we begin our morning with a keynote address from Ranti and the first AI talk from Roche representatives. We continue our program in the presence of our distinguished guests. We now call upon Rashdan bin Zainal of the Doha.
Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ya Allah, Ya Karim, Ya Wadud. On this blessed morning, in conjunction with NIH AI Day, we feel grateful towards you for all blessing that you bestow upon us. Your humble servant, we seek your blessing for the flawless program of this event from the beginning until the end. We seek your guidance to stay clear of anything that would detrimental to the progress of this event. Ya Latif, Ya Rahman, please bless us with your tawfiq and hidayah. Please guide us to greatness, peace, glories, and prosperity in this world and hereafter. Grant us with the very valuable knowledge that will be beneficial to mankind to gain the Madatilah. May us your righteous servant that follow your commands and declare sinful acts. Please forgive us for our wrongdoing. Ya Allah, please bestow peace to our beloved country, preserve us from any disasters and neither man-made or natural disasters. And to you, Allah, we seek your security and prosperity upon us, our leader, and our country. Bestow patience in us to face the challenge from you. Please accept our deed and please reward us accordingly. Rabbana atina fid dunya hasanah wa fil akhirati hasanah wa qina azabannar. Wassallallahu alaihi sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi washabihi wasallam walhamdulillahi rabbil alamin.
Thank you, Mr. Rashdan, for the recitation of the Dua. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it is our great honor to welcome Yang Berbahagia, Dato Dr. Nur Fariza Bintinga, Deputy Director General of Health, Research and Technical Support, Ministry of Health Malaysia, to share her welcoming address with us. Please join us in giving her a warm round of applause.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Madam MCs. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and very good morning to all. Yang berbahagia Datuk Sri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad, Secretary General of Ministry of Health, Dr. Murizal bin Zainal, Manager of NIH, all the NIH directors, NIH registrar, distinguished speakers, esteemed partners from the industry, head of departments, colleagues and dedicated members of our healthcare family. On behalf of National Institute of Health, it is my distinct honor and immense pleasure to welcome all of you to the third NIH AI Day. As the institution entrusted with steering the research and innovation for the ministry, NIH is the perfect ground for the conversation we are about to have today. A conversation about the future with artificial intelligence, or short form better known as AI. And a very special welcome to Datuk Sri Suryani, which we are very deeply honored to have your presence here this morning. The first visit actually by Datuk Sri to NIH, and also to officiate the inaugural NIH AI Day. Your leadership in steering our ministry towards a digital future give this event the weight and direction it deserves. Dear all, have a look around you, next to you, behind you, or in front of you. This hall is filled with the brightest mind and the most dedicated hearts in our nation's public health service. Every single day, all of us wrestle with challenges. We save lives and also push the boundaries of what is possible. Today, we are here to add a powerful leader vehicle, a high-performance engine to accelerate our journey. AI is increasingly present in the workplace, unlocking new possibilities for productivity and creativity. It is important, however, to remember that AI is here to support, not to replace us, not to make decisions on our behalf. Human insight and judgment should remain the central focus. Generative AI create contents, offer suggestion, and solve problems by analyzing data patterns. When used wisely, it guides us and expands our perspective while humans retain decision-making authority. Ladies and gentlemen, today we stand at the intersection of innovation and opportunity as AI becomes woven into the fabric of our daily work. Let us again be clear, AI is guide, support and augment our own abilities. What once seemed the stuff of science fiction is no longer distant or imaginary. AI is here, active and evolving within our own community and workplace. Generative AI helps us draft and refine documents, offering suggestions while leaving the final decision to us. That is analyzing large data set to highlight trends, but it's still up to our team to interpret and add on that insight. Through it all, human oversight ensures that ethical standards and emotional intelligence guide our choices. One remarkable example of leveraging AI, well, I might be biased here, is to enhance healthcare delivery in the field of diabetic retinopathy screening. Everybody aware about Dr. Mata or Dr. Mata. So by integrating AI-powered screening tools in our KK setting, we are now able to specialize directly to the primary care level. And in some rural areas, we are conducting research on the novel AI-powered apps to screen skin images for leprosy among our Orang Asli community. So these tools empower our community health workers to make initial screening on the spot rapidly and conveniently, ensuring that this ancient disease is detected and treated early. So this AI tools is more than technology. It brings healthcare equity for every single Malaysian. Another project like our cough sound for COVID-19 cases, expanding to other type of cough, AI for the cornea ulcer, both project collaboration with the Swinburne AI team and also Sarawak AI Center. This project proved that AI is not just a big ivory tower hospital, but all this project is collaboration that will be featured in the coming National AI Action Plan. It can be a practical tool for the public health intervention, one that can make our health system more efficient and accessible. However, within the excitement of AI, it is essential to recognize that the implementation of AI in screening does not eliminate the needs for regular audit and also continuous monitoring. And these measures are critical to ensure that the standard of care remain uncompromised. To facilitate this transformation, the National Institute of Health has taken the proactive step of establishing the AI Community Center, or short form AICC. This center will serve as a central hub enabling clinicians and researchers to collaborate with the technical expert or data scientists. Its purpose is to accelerate the development of validated healthcare innovation, underscoring our commitment to translating today's insight into tomorrow's standard of care. This morning, we will hear from brilliant minds who are at the forefront of revolution. Dr. Hazwan from Meranti has set the stage, and we will have the privilege of learning from our esteemed partners at Roche, QMed Asia, AWS, Medtronic, as well as Microsoft. This will bring us from prompt engineering to building intelligent hospitals. I urge you to listen with an open mind, to ask a challenging question, and to think critically about how these tools can be adapted to our own workflow. Let today be the spark. Let us leave this hall with no fear or uncertainty, but with a sense of purpose and excitement. The future is not something that happened to us, it is something we built together. So with that, I thank you for your attention.
Thank you Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. Norfariza Bentinga for your thoughtful words and for setting a meaningful tone for today's event. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our distinct honor to invite Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad, Secretary General of the Ministry of Health Malaysia, to grace this occasion and officiate the launch of NIH AI Day 2025 with her opening address. Please join us in giving a warm round of applause.
Thank you, ladies. Yang bahagia, Datuk Dr. Nur Farizanga, Deputy Director General of Health, Ministry of Health Malaysia, yang bersama Dr. Murizal bin Zainal, Manager for National Institute of Health, NIH, NIH Directors, NIH Registrar, Head of Departments, Researchers, Innovators, Industry Leaders and Collaborators, and the many participants from across the Ministry of Health. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great pleasure and deep honor that I welcome everyone to the 3rd National Institutes of Health NIH AI Day it has been 1 year and 18 days since I reported duty as the Secretary General of Ministry of Health. And today is the day when I finally get to visit NIH. Such a beautiful place. And for those who have just been here also for the first time, we welcome ourselves here to this very brilliant building here, which usually I only see from the highway. It's such a big building. I would like to extend my heartfelt appreciation to Dr. Nofariza and her team at the NIH, whose tireless work has made this event possible. This event could not be more timely. It speaks to a future that is rapidly unfolding, where artificial intelligence, or AI, will play a pivotal role in transforming our nation's healthcare landscape. My role today is to connect these technological advancements to our national strategy and to reaffirm the ministry's steadfast commitment to building a modern, sustainable, and inclusive healthcare system for all Malaysians. Ladies and gentlemen, the government of Malaysia, through the new Garis Panduan Pengadaptasian Kecerdasan Buatan Sektor Awam, has laid out a bold and clear vision where the public sector must lead the way in using this technology correctly and for the good of the people. This aligns seamlessly with our own roadmap, the Plan Strategi Pendigitalan KKM 2021-2025. This plan is more than just a document. It is our compass for transforming the ministry into a data-driven, patient-centric organization that makes decisions based on real-world evidence and foresight. We envision a future where we can predict, prevent, and personalize healthcare like never before, and generative AI is the engine that will drive this future. Ladies and gentlemen, the theme of today's event, Ignite the Future, Building with Generative AI, captures the essence of our mission. When we talk about building, we are constructing three main pillars that will support a stronger, healthier Malaysia. First, we are building a more equitable healthcare system. As you may have heard, AI is already making a difference. From screening for diabetic retinopathy in clinics to identifying leprosy in our remote communities. This is technology at its best, bridging the gaps, reaching the underserved, and turning the vision of healthcare for all into a reality for all Malaysians. Second, we are building a more efficient and responsive government. Our healthcare workers are burdened with administrative tasks that take time away from patient care. Generative AI presents us with a powerful opportunity where we can automate routine tasks, summarize long reports, and analyze vast data sets. This means freeing up our greatest asset, our people, to do what they do best: heal, innovate, and serve. It is about smart governments, ensuring every ringgit and every hour of work delivers the greatest value for the rakyat. Third, we are building a smarter and stronger public health system. With AI, we can analyze national health data in real time, anticipate outbreaks before they happen, and design targeted health interventions or campaigns that are data-informed, timely, and culturally relevant. To the dedicated staff of the Ministry of Health, the rise of AI is not a threat to your roles, but it is a testament to your progress. We are not simply investing in machines, we are investing in you. We are equipping you with tools that amplify your expertise, sharpen your decision-making, and empower you to serve the rakyat even better. Our goal is to develop a new generation of public health professionals who are skilled, adaptable, and confident in using AI to meet the health challenges of tomorrow. This journey cannot be taken alone. I'm delighted to see our key industry partners here with us today: Meranti, Roche, QMed Asia, AWS, Intel, SNS, Medtronic, and Microsoft. Your expertise is invaluable. The innovation you bring to the table is essential to build our shared future. This government-industry collaboration is the cornerstone of our national AI strategy. Last but not least, I would like to congratulate NIH for taking a bold and proactive step in establishing the AI Community Center, AICC. This center will serve as a vital hub in connecting clinicians, researchers, data experts, innovators, and stakeholders to materialize the adoption of AI technology in health. Ladies and gentlemen, let today be a day of discovery, collaboration, and of new beginnings. Let us approach the future with curiosity, courage, and compassion, and let us build a healthcare system where technology and humanity walk hand in hand for the good of all. With that, and with the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it is my great honor to officially declare the National Institutes of Health AI Day open. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri Suryani binti Datuk Ahmad for that momentous address. We kindly invite Yang Berbahagia Datuk Seri to return to your seat. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please turn your attention to the screen as we present a special video montage embodying the essence of NIH AI Day 2025 and its theme Ignite the Future Generative AI.
Our journey started from paper records to digital data and from traditional systems to learning machines. Now, a new era begins. With AI, we can enter a new dimension of intelligence where generative AI, powered by large language models, has the ability to understand, converse, and create new knowledge. Generative AI bridging gaps in healthcare communication. LLM, helping healthcare provider to enhance patient care by providing timely information and supporting clinical decisions. Language is no longer a barrier with a real-time voice-to-voice translation. AI is transforming patient care, making it deeply personal. But AI's impact extends on that, as AI can be your trusted partner. AI is able to empower health professionals by enhancing diagnosis, strengthening clinical decisions, and transforming medical training. With its remarkable advancements, AI is transforming healthcare. From cancer to rare diseases, from heart attacks to pandemics, AI is revealing hidden patterns, driving personalized care, advancing precision medicine, and shaping precision public health, giving every patient the right care at the right time. Malaysia's vision is clear, shifting from sick care to well care. We are driving innovation and equity across communities in alignment with the Sustainable Development Goals and universal health coverage. Through research, innovation, collaboration, we are building the future of healthcare. This is just the beginning.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, with that surge of energy and AI vibe, let us now come together to capture this memorable moment together with our distinguished guests. May I kindly ask the participants on my right and left to come to the central area of this auditorium. Mr. Kelly, kindly take the lead. Thank you all. Kindly be seated. We are now honored to invite our distinguished guests, Yang Berbahagia Dato Sri Suryani binti Dato Ahmad, together with Yang Berbahagia Dato Dr. Nur Fariza binti Nga, to proceed to the ballroom for booth visiting, and then to Gallery 2 for the inauguration of the AI Community Center. They will be joined by honored guests and representatives from NIH. Meanwhile, we warmly invite all the participants